This is why Brian was talking about St. Catharines, because Mat Siscoe, mayor, back on the show. Hey.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, yes. I know why you're giddy. Your first place baseball team.
First place in Major League Baseball.
Oh, goodness.
They're the best team in the entire of Major League Baseball.
Got a lot of stuff to get to. Can't talk about that. Oh, so you're excited about the Municipal Development Corporation.
Yeah.
Okay, take us through this and break it down for us, what this is all about.
Okay, so 7 years ago, and this is how long it takes sometimes in municipal government. 7 years ago, a former councillor had an idea. She brought it to my budget committee. We endorsed it and said, yeah, we're going to go forward this for Municipal Development Corporation. Basically, you set up an arm's length corporation. It engages with the private sector, with nonprofits, and you use it to, you can do a bunch of things with it. You can buy and sell land. You can get rid of city properties that aren't being properly used. You can partner with the private sector and the nonprofits to build housing, to build all kinds of things. And it took us a long time to get from that initial idea to approval. We had the business case set up last year. Our staff worked through it. It very narrowly passed our council to even move forward with planning for the idea. But when the Housing Accelerator Fund money came forward as a program from the feds last year, we put it as a part of our application. Fast forward to this past Monday night, what was a narrow 7-6 vote last year was an 11-2 vote on Monday night saying, yes, we're going to move forward with this. It was a part of our application, so we didn't really have a choice. You know, we had said we would do it if we got the money. The feds gave us the money, so we're doing it. But it's also risk-free to the community. You know, like this is grant money that the feds are telling us we have to spend on this. If we don't go through with the program, we would have to give the money back. And
so that's what's changed.
Well, this is it. We've seen other communities where they said they were going to do a thing with the Housing Accelerator money, then they didn't do the thing, and the feds said, give us the money back. Yeah. So that was very much the attitude of council. We're being ambitious, but it's kind of risk-free ambition on this one. And you know, I was out in Calgary last week for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and we talked to municipalities, big cities, smaller cities that have these corporations, and they can be incredibly successful. And it all comes down to, like, what's your mandate? In our case, we know we need affordable housing. We know we need to get the ball moving on purpose-built rentals, and we know we have some surplus land that we can engage with the private sector and with nonprofits to get this done. We actually went through last year a process to try and get an old piece of property sold and developed with nonprofits, and the process fell apart because we didn't have a vehicle like this. And the city is not built for land development. Like, that's not the purpose. So that's the point of creating this arm's length corporation, so that you can actually move the needle and get housing built. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay, so when can that needle be moved?
So I told my staff, like, we set the initial board of directors on Monday night. I want a meeting in the next week. We haven't even been incorporated yet, but I want us to start putting in place the pieces and figure out what's the mandate. Are we just doing land, or are we building as well?
Are you going to be talking about that? And is it Chatham tomorrow where the big city mayors are getting together?
Yeah, it's Chatham tomorrow for big city mayors. I think tomorrow's conversation will probably revolve around a lot of the homelessness issues. I know there's a number of pieces with respect to mental health and working with the provincial government, but tomorrow's meeting is an important one because, you know, especially on the heels of FCM, you get a lot of conversation.
FCM
is the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and you're not just dealing with Ontario mayors at that point. You're dealing with councillors and mayors from across the country.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, I'd never been to FCM before. The conversations I had with people from outside of Ontario, it's eye-opening what everybody's doing. You know, and
so doing it better.
Well,
different?
In some cases different, well, in most cases different, some cases better, in some cases worse. You know, like, we were able to provide some best practices. Because in St. Catharines, you know, when it comes to homelessness, we built the temporary shelter using what's essentially an old mining camp. And a couple municipalities, the reps were asking me about it because they'd read about it, and it's emerging as a best practice. We don't want homelessness and homeless shelters to be a permanent condition. It's supposed to be temporary, where we get the affordable housing built and the bridge housing. And a lot of people are looking to what we're doing in St. Catharines and Niagara and saying that works.
Okay. Hearing impaired resources at rec facilities. You're excited about this?
Yeah, we unveiled a couple going back 2 weeks now, I guess, signboards for kids in the parks, and we're doing this across our recreation facilities in St. Catharines. just trying to teach kids the basics of ASL, sign language. We engaged an artist to come in and help us design something which was easy for kids to understand. You know, it's the alphabet plus some really common signs. And, you know, the deaf community has reached out and said, you know, like, we're lacking in accessibility in this area. And so we tried to take the lead. It's been a process, learning a lot of things about how to do it the right way. And we had some really great members of the community reach out and show us the best path forward. But we unveiled the signboards there across the city at different rec facilities. And it's part of our effort. We want to make sure that our playgrounds and our rec facilities are places where everybody can play. Yeah. And you learn more and more about what accessibility actually means. We have a really strong accessibility committee in St. Catharines, and they've been guiding us on why our parks are supposed to look. And this is just another step for us.
Okay. You're a dad. Dad to, how many kids do you have?
I got 4.
You got 4?
Yeah.
What's Father's Day mean to you?
That's a great question. My oldest asked me the other day. He's 15 and he's got a job now, and I think he was trying to. For the record, I purchased my own Father's Day gift with my own money. I bought an AeroPress. I'm very excited. It makes such good coffee.
You're such a nerd.
I am such a nerd. But he asked me the other day, "What do you want for Father's Day?" And I said, "Honestly, buddy, my Sunday this week just happens to be empty.
Yeah.
I want to have a barbecue. Maybe invite some other dad friends over. Just hang out in the backyard." He immediately made it about himself and asked if he could invite his friend over so he doesn't actually have to speak to me. And I was actually, I was fine with that. I said, you know what, buddy? Tell me what your buddy likes to eat, and I'll make sure it's on the grill.
Goodness.
I just want to grill and hang out in the backyard. England's playing on Sunday morning.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Euro Cup.
I'm going to watch the England game and cheer for the 3 Lions.
We could talk about the Yankees, but we've run out of time.